Hello, this is GeoTechLand, and today I'll be playing Breath of the Wild on the Cemu emulator. And before we get started, let me show you my settings here. I've got fence skip enabled, upscale filter set to by cubic, I have this set to stretch, buffer cache accuracy set to low, experimental, just whatever's there. I have this off. And for the graphic packs, I have these fixes here, 4K for you here, and contrasty, and that's about it. So let's get started. Let's go full screen for a moment here. And let's load this one. So I've done two different things since my last video. One, I updated to the latest Cemu version, which is 1.11.4 or 1.11.4. And the other significant thing I did is I actually updated the game version. So instead of playing on version 1.1 that I had, now I'm on 1.5. And so the reason why I updated to 1.5 here was because I've been having issues with Breath of the Wild not seeming to gain any FPS after the most recent Cemu versions. So I've been watching a lot of videos. Lots of people are reporting the last couple of Cemu versions, they've been seeing huge increases in FPS. And surprisingly enough, I've managed to pretty much remain on more or less 15 to 20 FPS. I usually say 20-ish max. I am playing in 4K, but if I lower it to native resolution, it maybe goes up to a maximum of 23. So it doesn't really gain that much. So there's definitely something else at play here. Not sure, since it's not the version, the game version itself, since I've just factored that out today. It's either going to be just an issue with an AMD driver, or just maybe there just hasn't been that much support on or for AMD from the Cemu team, which is fine because obviously NVIDIA and Intel GPUs and CPUs, more people have those, so of course they have to make sure those work first before moving on to AMD. And Cemu itself is still just a very new emulator, and so I'm pretty positive that eventually we'll see better support for AMD. One thing that was supposed to make this a lot faster was switching or having available triple core, but again, it didn't make much difference. And you guys can see this game monitor kind of just switched from 3D11, so it's not accurate now. This is 15 here, this is about 30, so it's like double. So with that out of the way, but yeah, haven't seen many updates here. Still has remained at about 20 FPS max. Weird thing is I could increase the FPS here just by, so right now it's showing about 17, 16 on the very top. If I do this, it starts to increase. Ironically, it didn't increase too much this time, but when I was saying I was averaging about 20, doing this, changing this, I guess the camera would make it go all the way to 28 FPS. So watch, it's at 1920. Let me go back down. It's gonna go back down to 16, 18. Well, I guess it didn't this time. But yeah, it's going to 14, 15, 16. Let's try going back up. Yeah, it went back up now. Now, one thing I am noticing, not sure if it's the version or just the newer version of the game, but things look a bit clearer now. Before, things far away would look really bad, like the accuracy of the emulator was off. But now it doesn't look too bad now. I mean, it still could use improvement, but it's a lot better than before. So yeah, I'm pretty much staying at about 11, 12. That's likely just the fact that I don't use shader caching. Well, I do, but it's not, I don't download any cache from someone else. That I just kind of, I guess, create my own cache here. The other reason, maybe the game update, I would imagine that would cause us a bit of a slowdown. Just the fact that I'm on version 1.5 now. So I guess as it currently stands, the game is not quite playable anymore. At least from my last video. In the last video I pretty much declared it playable. It was getting around 20 FPS and staying there for the better part. So I was like, alright, it's still not 30 frames per second, but it's practically playable at that point. Right now, because I've updated the game version, likely caused a little bit of a regression, but that's fine. I'm trying to find some baddies to fight here. Oh, one thing I do notice when I pull out this, I guess I didn't do it now, but it would glitch. It would just like freeze like that pretty much. Move this out of the way. It's this water. Yeah, so if I, like, collisions causes stutters. So when I attack an enemy or when I crash into the water. I mean, you saw that in the previous versions, but like after like a few times it would stop doing it. I guess it would cache itself. What is this? But alright guys, other than that, there's not much else to report. Hopefully soon we'll start seeing more work done on AMD, GPU and CPU. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.